Freedom for Super Earth, we rise as one. But take these 2 minutes, I must say well done. In Super Earth we trust, we dive as one. We dive as one, undaunted and free. We can't be stopped on land or digital sea. Intergalactic victory, we stand as one in complete unity.
Freedom's Helldivers. Tonight's intro was We Dive as One by Endless Taverns, a song of struggle and victory, of a battle that we have all faced and fought for over a year now. Tonight's top news is simply massive, and centers around Not-So-Super Earth. An agreement was reached with the Sunny Corporation earlier today. Roughly a year ago, region locks were placed on various countries all across the planet, barring them from participation in the Helldiver Corps, and their super destroyers were left impounded. As of today, that ruling has been suspended, and those countries, once barred, are granted full access to the resources of the Liberation Fleet once again. For a full list of affected countries, please see the link in the description below. There was much rejoicing across the whole of the fleet, and even from Arrowhead R&D. The leader of their QA department, Jojo, had this to say. It is, as the kids say, poggers. Well said, sir. This is truly a momentous occasion. We have all fought long and hard for this victory, and I myself have spoken up on behalf of the disenfranchised on multiple occasions. Either we are all free, or none of us are. However, there are still some exceptions to this. 7 countries are still excluded from proper spreading of democracy's light, such as Belarus, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, the Russian Federation, Syria, and Vietnam. Japan is on this list because of a technicality. Because of their nation's law, they run a different version of Helldivers and the PSN, but rest assured, they are present among us, and they have been for quite some time. Vietnam is on this list because they completely banned the use of Steam as of May last year due to concerns about local game publishers and the government's regulation on game distribution. Honestly, Mercy and I had recorded this whole thing revolving around our opinions in regards to the other members of this list, and I just opted to scrap the whole thing at the editing desk because it just gets too deep into real politics for our liking. So for now, I am going to yank the leash on this topic and steer things back towards super politics, starting with news in the galactic sphere. Turns out we are going to seriously need those reinforcements, which still might be several days out. Earlier today, the defense of Alta 5 completely collapsed under an unending tide of hunters of the Predator strain. Seriously, I despise those awful little evil green things. You get pounced by one, and then his 429 other buddies just body you into the ground. Following that, the hives of Alta immediately triggered a sporefall event to Caramoor. Fortunately, these spores are of the garden variety bug strain and are not nearly so hostile. Even so, it is sporting an SDC level of 29 and are currently infesting several megacities. To make matters worse, Terminids have damaged the planetary climate control system, allowing the megacities to return to their usual sweltering temperatures, which means that energy weapons will be not nearly as effective as they usually are. Fortunately, arc weapons still work great. Sorry, not sorry, future teammates. In other news, I'm apparently being sued. Yes, dear listeners, my enemies can't hope to take me down on the battlefield or in the sphere of politics, so they are attempting to haul me into court, citing that I have violated the Super Earth Constitution. Any and all resources that are produced, provided, and or made available by the work of state-sanctioned corporations, entities, or citizens through community service, or the action of paying taxes, if provided in accordance with the law, cannot legally be seized by any entity, save if the situation, by the order of the Democratic Council or the President, constitutes a military emergency as an entity is an immediate threat to freedom. This court case is citing that I am instigating an illegal rebellion and a breach of the citizenry's civil rights, and that I should expect to be in court soon. Really? First, that was a very good try. Admirable even. I respect the attempt. But there are a few small problems. earlier today, and after bringing them up to speed on the situation within the Illuminate Death Frontier, I obtained the right to act with emergency powers in regards to the safety of Super Earth. So, while I might have skirted the edge of even my authority by granting independence to breakaway worlds, I now have the full authority granted by the powers that be to do so, especially in light of my intentions to sell said factions E710 and other military aid so as to transform them into small bulwarks against tyranny. Should the Illuminate try to roll over Genesis Prime and Alamac, they're going to find that about as pleasant as a casual stroll barefoot down a highway of Legos. I also had a chance to speak to the judge of the case today, and after a good discussion over a pizza lunch, we agreed to dismiss the case as moot anyway. Because of infrastructural damage inflicted by the Illuminate, the entire southern Death Frontier has dropped off the FTO grid, and navigation and communication are no longer possible. So even if there was evidence of me fomenting a rebellion, a discovery phase cannot be implemented to discern the nature of the damage. Yes, I know my way around a courtroom. Did you forget that I used to work for the Ministry of Truth before I became a rebel leader and then minister? Also, I'm, subscribed to Legal Eagle. So, concerned citizen? Please stay in your own fluffing lane, as the Ministry of Truth cannot guarantee your safety if we have to keep repelling frivolous lawsuits like this. Though, the entire Death Frontier dropping off of our FT-Young network is significantly more concerning than some randy random attempting to use the MOT's court system against me. That region of space was mangled to muck and back. But at the very least, if the Illuminate started working their way up the galactic south, we could see them coming. Now, they could be on the verge of penetrating the Sol system for Super Earth Siege Part 2 Democratic Boogaloo, and no one would know anything about it until overships were spotted cruising past Io. That's been Liberty's latest with me, Pandera the Radio Angel. Between the unstoppable tide of miffed-off Terminids and the dark machinations of the Illuminate, I won't lie, newcomers to the Liberation Fleet. Things are a bit of a mess right now. We need all the help that we can get, and you could not have arrived at a better time. There is a link in the description below for the low-sodium Helldivers Super Discord board with resources for squad voice chat, allies within the Liberation Fleet, and a newsfeed operated by me and Commander Phantom of the Galactic War Channel to help bring you up to speed. Welcome to our world. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for Super Earth.